So reaping what you sow is definitely something we saw in episode 2 of Raising Kanan. Kanan's actions were definitely going to have some consequences, and I think Lulu killing Wiz will have some consequences too eventually in the near future. Not straight away, but sometime in the future this is going to come back to Lulu. But meanwhile the Thomas family have another problem. Going into Power Book 3 Raising Kanan, episode 3 Stick and Move, they're still without their corners. We're going to see Kanan and Marvin's relationship really take off, and this could be the start of Kanan teachings and learnings as he enters the game. I think Davina is going to take a dark turn real quick. This is something that we need to watch out for and something that Kanan needs to watch out for as well. But we're dissecting the Raising Kanan episode 3 promo of Stick and Move in detail in this video. But if you are new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Universe related. But let's talk about what's to come in episode 3, because one thing which was clear from episode 2 was that the Thomas family had two problems. The target on Kanan's back and Unique taking their corners and effectively taking their business off the street. They kind of solved one problem when Lulu killed D-Wiz, and I say kind of because I still think this will have consequences later on down the line, but that's the story I touched on in my previous video, which I'll leave the link to down below if you've not seen it. But Raquel tells her trusted right hand man Lulu that they need a bigger move, some shit that they can grow into, and it's true, with Unique taking majority of their corners, what have they really got left? We haven't been fully introduced to the Thomas family business and how they do things. We've been introduced to the face of the business, what position each family member holds, with Raquel being the boss, Lulu is the man to get shit done and get shit done right, and Marvin is someone who is dismissed in decision making, but he has a position to play as well. He's the aggressor, he's the muscle for the Thomas family. So we've been introduced to their roles over the last 2 episodes, we've seen what each character can do and what they're good at, apart from Marvin who wanted to open up a fucking exotic fish store, but we moved because he is one funny character who I said in my video yesterday he's definitely going to be a fan favourite. But I think we'll see more of Marvin's muscle and his ruthlessness in the coming episode or 2 when he has to protect Kanan. So I think over episode 3 and the coming episodes we're really going to start to see the inner workings of the family. We'll get down to the nitty gritty of how they do shit, how they run their family business, what they're going to grow into, and how they're going to build back up, because they need to build back up after the fallout from D-Wiz and Kanan killing Buck. They have soldiers that they need to keep happy, they have mouths to feed too, and when your product comes off the street, then shit gets dry, and Raquel as a leader will need to make sure that she keeps her business in check, especially because Unique is going to be circling around trying to close in on Raquel and her family, because Detective Howard made his intentions clear. He's going to go against Rack because there can only be one king in the kingdom, one crew and one set of rules, because in essence it's making Howard's job a whole lot easier if there is one king in the kingdom. Now Raquel doesn't abide to rules well, and she does shit how she wants to, and Detective Howard doesn't like the way she does business, so he's on Unique's side for now. And I say for now because I'm sure if it was Raquel with upper hand, he'd be all up in Raquel's face saying how they need to dead Unique. He's a selfish character and he's always going to be looking out for himself because he knows how the streets work. But Unique looks like he's crossing paths with Marvin. I'm sure this is Marvin's car, and as I mentioned before in a previous video, that I really wouldn't be surprised to see Marvin doing something irresponsible because he feels pushed aside by Lulu and Raquel when it comes to decision making. When Raquel and Lulu were talking about Reggie Jackson's play and making the home run which was killing Wiz, Marvin had no clue what they were talking about. So I wonder what his reaction to D-Wiz being killed is, and his reaction to trying to get their business back on the move as well, because he's someone who made it clear in the very first episode that he's not afraid to step to Unique and take it to him. At some point I expect him to be cast aside to the point where he'll take matters into his own hands and he'll do something really irresponsible. We even hear Kanan telling Marvin, look, you help me, I'll get you back in with my mom. And I wonder whether you caught the correlation to someone else who said the exact same thing in Power Book 2 Ghost. Let's rewind it back to January during the season finale of Power Book 2 Ghost, where Tariq convinced Kane to help him so he could help Kane in return to get back in with his moms and his family. It's a similar situation that we find Kanan and Marvin in. Of course this isn't the only correlation that's been spotted, and I'll go through all of the Easter eggs in a bit more detail after the first season is over, after the story of season 1 has played out. But this is where we could really start to see the relationship between Marvin and Kanan get going. We know he doesn't have much of a relationship with his daughter Jukebox. We see her confiding in Raquel, which I'm going to come to in just a moment. So Kanan and Marvin, this is going to be the start of where we really start to see him mentor and teach Kanan and be this protector to Kanan, because Kanan will still need protecting at times. He's still raw and someone who's eager to be a hustler, but he's still got a long way to go. But Marvin is someone who is definitely going to help him along the way. Now he's got a long way to go with Davina as well, because she wants Kanan to tell her the truth about what happened with Buck. She asked Kanan, did he know that D-Wiz shot Buck? And of course we know Kanan's gonna lie, he has to. When it comes to Davina, you notice that Kanan gets all lost for words. He likes this girl so much, he's always gonna tell her what she wants to hear, but also lie to her when it comes to things like Buck. But Kanan also said once in Power that a woman who knows she's fine is trouble, and this is a warning and a lesson that Kanan was teaching that he's had in the past, which could very well be Davina, because she knows that Kanan likes her, and it's only a matter of time if and when she starts to really use this to manipulate him into possibly doing something against against someone like Lulu after he killed D-Wiz, so let's just wait and see on that one. Raquel and Jukebox, they're gonna confide in each other. We had the little awkward exchange between Marvin and Jukebox when he asked her if she wanted a ride in the last episode, and in episode 1 we also heard how Jukebox could have gone to Stuyvesant, but Marvin never listened to Juke. We'd see Juke having more of a relationship with Lulu and Raquel than she does with her own father, because we heard her saying that she's gonna go to the studio with Lulu in episode 2, and in episode 3 she's gonna tell Raquel all about her love interest. Now I don't know whether she's gonna open up to the point where she'll tell her that she fucks with girls, and her name is Nicole, but she's definitely gonna open up to Raquel, and you'll see the fear in her eyes when she says please don't tell my dad, because this is something that will definitely push their relationship over the edge, because correct me if I'm wrong, but back in those days it was really frowned upon and not really accepted. So Jukebox is gonna open up to Raquel, and she's gonna open up to Juke about her relationship with Symphony and tell her that she's seeing someone too. But this is really Jukebox's time to shine in Power Book 3 Raising Kanan. We've already seen Raquel, who stole the show in episode 1, and then Lulu had his turn in episode 2, and this is where Jukebox is really gonna get into the action herself. Now this person who's on the floor full of blood actually looks similar to the person who had Jukebox up against the wall in the trailer that was released before the season started. So Jukebox and the crew are really gonna be up to no good, and this is where we're gonna see how hard Juke is. Kanan already warned us that Juke can sing, but don't let her voice fool you. There's nobody harder than Jukebox, and I think we're gonna start to see this in the coming episodes, starting with episode 3. And lastly, we have Detective Malcolm Howard and Detective Berg, with Howard saying that every cop and criminal in this city knows that Malcolm Howard holds it the fuck down, with a police car absolutely ramming into another car. Now I went through some of your guys' thoughts on Howard in yesterday's video. He's a character that probably ran the streets at some point, and that's why every criminal knows who Malcolm Howard is, and that's why they can't fuck with him. I do think he was someone big back in the day, and he's also someone that knows the game doesn't change but the players do, just like KP the G mentioned, which I touched on in my video yesterday. Now we saw in episode 2 that he's siding with Unique and keeping Detective Burke out where he can when it comes to negotiations with Unique, and he's someone that will cause trouble for Raquel, but Raquel's someone who's not gonna run. No matter how much trouble or how much Detective Howard tries to have one sole kingpin running the south side, it's just not gonna happen, because we know Raquel doesn't take a knee. That's something she learned from High Post, who ironically Howard knows too, so he'll know that Raquel won't bow down, and now it's all about what he does and how he plays the game, because he's gonna play the game however it best suits him. Still so many secrets and mysteries surrounding Howard, and only time will tell how his past shaped his present, but I'm sure as the season goes on, answers to all these questions will start to become a lot more clearer. But that's episode 3's trailer breakdown, and everything we learned from the trailer for Power Book 3 Raising Kanan, episode 3. So let me know your guys' thoughts and comments down below. Do you think Lulu's actions of killing Wiz will have even more consequences? Will the Thomas family be able to grow back quick with this different avenue that they talk about? So hopefully we start to see how they do business and a lot more of the inner workings of the family. And let me know about Marvin. Do you think he's going to screw things up for the Thomas family? Let me know your comments down below on episode 3. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Universe related over the coming months. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.